There are many fighters in the UFC who have various different techniques in their arsenal to help them get their hands raised, but many fighters have specific favorite techniques they like to use in their fights, which is unique to their fighting style. So here is 10 best signature moves in the UFC. Number 10. Whenever Roy Nelson fights, you can expect him to throw his signature overhand right, which has given him great success in knocking out top UFC heavyweights. Roy Nelson possesses one of the most brutal knockout power in the heavyweight division today. He can make it a bad night for anybody if he perfectly lands his overhand right during a fight. He has used this signature move to finish top UFC heavyweights such as Brendan Schaub, Stefan Struve, Mirko Cro Cop, Matt Mitrione, and Antonio Silva. Number 9. Donald Cerrone is a high-level kickboxer who has one of the best kicks in the UFC today. His high-level kickboxing combined with his aggressive fighting style has made him into a fan favorite over the years. His major strength is in his brutal stand-up skills, where he tries his best to put his opponent away. Most of his finishes have come by head kicks, where he has finished 6 of his opponents in the UFC with this signature move. He likes to set up his head kicks by targeting the lower and the mid-section of his opponents, where in an instant he is able to throw a heavy head kick, finishing his opponent. This signature move has given him great success over the years, where he has racked up wins over top contenders in both the UFC welterweight and lightweight divisions. Number 8. Georges St Pierre is one of the most complete fighters in the UFC today. He has a well-rounded game and has an arsenal of different techniques to help him achieve the victory. In almost every fight, we have seen Georges St Pierre throw a Superman punch perfectly, which has become one of his signature moves in his career. He is quickly able to throw the technique, shocking his opponents. He uses the Superman punch to close the distance, to either follow up with some strikes or initiate the takedown. I believe GSP has utilized this move the best, and it has helped him a great deal inside the octagon. Number 7. Ronda Rousey is known for a signature armbar submission, where 9 of her 12 wins have come by an armbar. She sets up the submission using her Olympic level judo, taking her opponents down and finishing them off with the armbar. Before she started relying on her striking, she mainly focused on getting the submission and was very successful in doing so. One of her greatest moments was when she defeated Alexis Davis, Kat Zingano and Betch Correia all in under a minute. Her signature armbar technique has proved effective and has given her great success over the years. Number 6. One thing that Jose Aldo is known for is his powerful leg kicks. His ability to chop down his opponent's legs has been a vital part of his game plan in each of his fights. The damage caused by his brutal leg kicks was seen when he kicked the crap out of Uriah Faber's legs at UFC 48, where nearly all of his leg was bruised. His leg kicks are so powerful that his opponents are forced to switch stances midway through the fight. This signature move has given him great success over the years, and I believe he's one of the best leg kickers in the UFC today. Number 5. Tony Ferguson is one of the most well-rounded fighters on the UFC roster today. He possesses great striking as well as a high-level submission game. His long reach enables him to pick his opponents apart from the outside, and he is able to lock in a submission from anywhere. One of his go-to moves when he has his opponents stunned is his Darth choke. He has finished 3 of his opponents with this choke in the UFC, which shows how comfortable he is in locking in the submission. He most notably choked out Edson Barboza by a Darth choke in the second round at the Ultimate Fighter 22 finale. He is a very smart fighter whose wild fighting style has given him great success inside the octagon. Number 4. When fighters are offered to fight Edson Barboza, they immediately know that they're up against a fighter who will specifically target their body and their legs. Edson Barboza has the ability to generate a lot of power very quickly and is able to cause a lot of damage even in close range. He has used this signature move to finish 3 of his opponents by TKO leg kicks, with his opponents unable to continue. If his leg kicks don't put his opponents away, they limit their movement where they are just a sitting target, and he is able to chop down the legs even more. Not only that, he has other flashy kicks in his arsenal, as he most famously knocked out Terry Etim at UFC 142 by a spinning kick, which might be the best spinning kick knockout of all time. Number 3. Both Nick and Nate Diaz possess great boxing skills, and they both have a deadly ground game. Both brothers are known for using the Stockton slap during their fights, mocking their opponents. The Stockton slap has become one of their signature moves, where they use it in their fights to put their opponents off their game plan. Both brothers frustrate their opponents by taunting them, forcing them to engage in the fight. Nate Diaz most notably used the Stockton slap in his first fight against Conor Mcgregor, where he slapped him after he had stunned him with a 1-2 combination. Both brothers are loved by MMA fans, and they always put on a show whenever they compete. Number 2. Jon Jones is one of the most unpredictable fighters in the UFC today. Whenever he fights, he is known for 2 things, and no, I won't be talking about his eye pokes. That's for a separate video. Anyways, he is known for his oblique kicks and his elbow attacks. He likes to keep his opponents at distance and uses his oblique kicks to limit his opponent's movements. In almost every fight, we see him using his signature spinning elbow, where he has his opponents against the cage and is quickly able to accurately execute the technique. He also likes to use his elbows at close range, causing large amounts of damage. This was seen very well when he faced Alexander Gustafsson at UFC 165, where he was able to stun him with some elbows in the later rounds of the fight. Jon Jones' size and reach give him the opportunity to throw a variety of different techniques, where he always displays something new whenever he fights. Number 1. Whenever Conor McGregor is getting ready to step inside the octagon, he basically puts his game plan out there to the public and always promises a knockout. This shows how confident he is in his ability and believes in the power he has. When he fights, you can expect him to look for the knockout blow, using his heavy left hand. He likes to use various different kicking techniques to set up his opponents for the knockout. He possesses great speed and is very accurate when he strikes. He has used this signature move against Marcus Brimage, Diego Brandao, Dustin Poirier, Dennis Siver, and many more. He most famously knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds of the first round to become the UFC featherweight champion. He next used his signature move to finish Eddie Alvarez by TKO in the second round to become the first ever two-weight world champion. His signature left hand has given him great success in the UFC, and I believe it is one of the best signature moves in the UFC today.